Hey guys, new video here, day 2. League's been live for 26 28 hours or something like that at the time of this video, and I thought I'd make it with a quick Q&A, because you get asked a lot of the same questions when the league starts, like how do I get certain things, how does certain things work. So I'll talk about that as well, along with the daily recap. So from the first day until now, the character has actually come along really well. It is level 87. Hasn't been too much of an issue to get there. Obviously some one-shots here and there. Pretty squishy for now. I'm gonna mouse over all the gear real quick and you can just kind of take a look at it. It's pretty bad. I did a little revamp of the gear on stream earlier. There's a police car outside. Super loud. A revamp of the gear, and I bought like a new chest. This was like 20 something C, 27 C, and I sold the tabby for like 16 C. The goal was a couple C. The belt was like I think 7 or 8 C, and that's about it, right? Like the boots were like 2 C. So look at the ring, really bad. This ring's really bad. Boots, nothing too special, but I guess it's okay because I did Uber lap today and I enchanted this, and the last 2 points really helped. Same obliteration wands, an amulet that people are kind of like, they don't really care about talismans, right? So talismans are like 1C, maybe 2C, even if you want to get a like a decent kind of anointment on there. So I have Hexmaster. I used Despair Curse, and the goal has made things super fun. If you want to like look at your character, and if you look at your belt and your helmet slot, right, for the early game, the early league, and you want to have more fun, I really recommend, if your belt and helmet aren't mandatory, try out Bisco's to give you Rampage. Try out the goal, gives you free shrines, and then it makes the shrines that are real in the map, the big ones, kind of outrageous, right? So super good. Okay, besides that, nothing much to talk about, just BB Poison, pretty classic build. I've never played it before, but I'm loving it. It's like, it's got a nice playstyle, it looks really cool, it goes pretty fast when things are going right. And this is my skill tree. I have this pretty garbage cluster jewel here. My jewels are pretty bad. Lots of all the things that I found from the ritual so far. I have, I'm doing okay. 2 exalts, 100 C. Exalts are rising really fast, so if you can get things into exalts, I would actually kind of recommend that if you don't have anything necessary to purchase now, right? Because it is crazy that just over a day into the league, what are they, 70 C? I can hit my trade mat. Yeah, they're like 76 C or something. That's nuts, right? Things I've gotten from ritual. I have gotten Tremor Rod. I sold for an exalt early on. I've gotten an intuitive leap. I've gotten stacks of 10 C. I've gotten exalted shards. No exalts yet. Did drop an exalt. So nothing too crazy yet. People in my guild and people in my stream, obviously when you're streaming, it seems like everyone else is getting doctors. Everyone else is getting crazy exalt drops left and right, but really these are vocal minority. Don't really try to compare yourself to other people. And the league overall, so let's go into Q&A, because there's not much to talk about this character. Things I'll be going next for the character, I guess Carcass Jack, right, for AoE and stuff like that. But let's get into the Q&A and the tips and everything. Okay, so the most common question actually isn't about the league itself. It's just well, it kind of is. It's what do you think about this league compared to other leagues, compared to Heist and other things? Like how are you enjoying the game? And I have to say that the early progression into these skill points, into getting your the new and improved visuals and the Malvin and all that stuff, it feels really good. It might be the greatest league of all time with the expansion and the challenge coming together. The extra month of development really shows, because although there are a lot of things that can be improved, you can just look on Reddit for good suggestions. No one's really too unhappy about anything. Things work. I mean, there's some server issues, okay, but to that question of what do I think about the game so far, am I having fun? Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I am jazzed to play. Today I have to stream for 13 hours, and after I looked at the clock, I was like, wait, I streamed for 13 hours? That's it felt like 3 hours, because the time was flying by as you had so many things to do. Your attention was being pulled in so many directions, and it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially for someone who hasn't played the game as long as some of us have, years and years. And there's just so much I feel like there's left to do. That's just the basics. I haven't gotten to farming. I haven't really got my build to be very good yet or anything, because it's day 2, and I'm already I'm dude, I only have 2 points on each of these skill trees. So yeah, I'm loving this league, loving the game, love what they've done with it. Nothing but positive things to say, because the shortcomings of it, some quality of life things, certain bugs with the servers, I mean, what can you do, right? That's just, this is how it is, right? Look at any studio's launches of expansions, games, and stuff like that. And, you know, it's not gonna be too different. So that's the question that I get asked there probably most of all. Second question I get most asked is, how do you actually get these skill trees? And I was wanting to tell, I was like, yo, how do you get these skill trees? So a very quick primer on how this works, okay? If you played previous leagues, it will be very easy for you, because imagine you're doing previous leagues without any of this content. What were you doing? You were getting your watchstones, you were pushing up tiers of maps, right? That's it. And that is what you will do, exactly what you'll do to get this spawn. So as you're pushing up tiers, I got my first Malvin spawn, I guess you could call it, at around tier 5. I don't know if this is always tier 5 or if it's just RNG and it goes like, you know, more chances you go up in tiers, but that's where I got her, on a tier 5 map. And what you're gonna do is, like, as you're pushing watchstones and tiers completion, right, bonus completion, all that stuff, when you kill a boss, finally one day it will drop something called the Malvin's Bacon. It's a green quest item, very much like if you look at a watchstone, it'll have this green coloring and it'll say the Malvin's Bacon. And it was drop on the ground, you pick it up, come back to your hideout, turn it into these two people, right, in your hideout right here. And then the quest begins. What will happen is, let me see if I have a 3-1, like a 3-bar. Okay, mine are all like, if you look at the little increments here, they're all 4 because I've already gotten the 3-1. But what will happen is you will see her bar, these blue bars with this little like moon-ish icon in one of the regions. Mine was down here in the bottom right. So let's just take this as an example. Once again, yours will have 3 bars like this, all covered up with my mouse. And what that means is all you gotta do is take 3 different maps from that region. Any of them. It doesn't have to be the tier of the watchstone that might or might not be in there. Just 3 maps from, in this example, Lyra Artane. Just run them. And when you put in the map, there's gonna be something like this. Little beacon. Blue means it's off, so just keep it turned on because it doesn't really make it that much harder yet. So orange means it's on. You click it on, you do those 3 maps, and then what's gonna happen is you are gonna go ahead and fill up this bar. Each map is 1 bar. Once again, yours will start with 3, and once it fills up, she will drop another green item called the invitation. And the invitation, obviously in this zone, it's Lyra Artane, so you'll say invitation to Lyra Artane. And you go in there, you kill the 3 bosses all at once of the maps that you just did, and then you will get 2 skill points, like I have right here, right? It's kind of hard to say which ones you have assigned, but I've assigned these 2. And you just put your 2 skill points anywhere. One little thing to note is that if you look here, you can actually switch this, right? So what I'm guessing, I don't even know how this works. I haven't needed refund points. I don't even have all of my 10 skill points yet. Is I'm guessing you'll switch it over to refund when you need to refund something, if you want to redo it, and then you'll spawn her again, right? With like the refund check, maybe. I don't even know, right? Maybe that's how it's done, or she'll drop an orb for you later on. Maybe it's like a rare chance or something. She'll drop a random orb that will allow you, when you switch to refund, to do this, right? And then like refund points that you have. Okay, that's what I'm guessing. It's one of those 2, but you will be able to refund points. Okay, I get asked a lot. Can you undo your point selections if you want to later, if you make a mistake or you want to change, try something new? And yes, absolutely you can. I haven't gotten any refunds yet across any of the zones, so it might be as rare as an Exalt. That's like in the Q&A and some of the things we see on Reddit from the Grinding Gear staff. They've kind of said it's gonna be more rare. It's not gonna be like a regret orb where you have infinite of them later on. Okay, so maybe be a little bit wary of your choices early on. But you definitely can respec later though. It is not a permanent choice. Okay. As for which points I'm going in each zone and what order, I have a YouTube video about that, but I've kind of just like, you know, I've decided at the time after playing maps, like how does it feel? Which one am I going to go, right? So you can take a look here to see where I've gone. And here I have 4 points. Like my progress right now is I have 2 points in every single zone. I've done like the initial quests and the spawns in every zone. So 2 points every single zone. And this zone I did an additional set. So I have 4 points here for Beyond. Pretty cool. Are these points impactful? I think so. I think like when you go in, and this is one of the coolest parts too, when you go in and you put in a map, you see this right here, it just goes in and tells you what the thing is going to be on there, of like what skill points you have. And then another thing is if you have sextants, let me show you this real quick, because I think this is one of the coolest and best quality of life things that you can have. So this one is where is this? This is Tiern's End. Where's Tiern's End? Oh, right here. There's no thing in there. Hold on. What about one of these? This one doesn't have a watch stone in here. Let me just put one in real quick so that you guys can see. Now, if I sextant this, it's not a big deal, right? You see like the little border, it shows you that it's sextanted just like before, except for it's a little bit bigger, right? You can look at what you have. Now watch this though. When I put in my Tierns End, you can see the sextant modifier in its own category show up right here. It just tells you. So now there's no more like running maps and going like, oh, do I have sextants? Let me see. Oh, I do. Or like looking for this little bar. Oh, do I have sextants? I have sextants, right? No more like opening this and like checking out, like putting a map. Oh, take it out. Do I have sextants? Oh, I said no. Now, when you put in a map, you just like look right here. You'll get very used to like muscle memory. You'll be like, boom, I have sextants. Here are my sextants. Super nice, right? And it's also nice because when the sextants were only shown here, you had to like mouse over them or like, you know, you couldn't really see what they were. But now, let's say you have a sextant like maybe like Mana Flask or Instant or something, or like Health Blaster or Instant. I forgot what the mod is. Or like a Nemesis 3 or something where like you need some kind of counterplay, or either like for the health pod or mana pod's instant, it might brick some builds, kind of some interactions, like Lavianges or whatever. You might actually be like, okay, I see that now and I can counterplay it or change it up, right? So it's like super awesome, especially when you get master mission sextant. You'll be like, oh, master mission, then I don't need to click one of these, you know? That's super cool. Really good quality of life. I love that. And it looks really good, right? Like the sections are very like they're very like separated and easy to read, so that's awesome. That's something that you'll definitely notice on here. Another question I get asked a lot is when you're doing these maps, right? Like as you're doing these maps, what's the best way to get your stones and things like that? I'll say just do the Leapfrog Method. Leapfrog Method is basically getting all the stones in one area, then jumping to the next one, then jumping to the next one. Eventually you go like, you know, 1 stone, 2 stone, 3 stone, 4 stone, and then 4 stones around the edges. There are many YouTube videos on this. So if you just type in YouTube in the bar above, I have a video, but my videos are one takes, usually done on stream when just to answer someone's question in chat. So it's not very like concise. Type in Atlas Watchstone Guide and watch any of those top videos. And you don't have to do it. It's just a kind of a sweaty way to, you know, advance your Atlas faster. There are many guides that you can follow along step by step. And you know, for newer players, I really just recommend just doing all the maps. Another thing I've noticed is that map sustain seems to have been a lot better. Like I'm not using sextants or anything. I'm just like ouch and go, like literally ouch and go. No sextants, no scarabs, no fragments, nothing. I will be using those later because of how juicy the maps are, and how good ritual is. But for now, it's like I feel like they've really upped the quantity, and obviously there's like more monsters because of ritual and stuff, but I feel like map drops are better. And I'd be surprised if there's too many Reddit threads like there are every single league saying like, does anyone else feel like map drops are nerfed? Does anyone feel like I can't get past like the 11s? Or, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, because it feels like there's a lot of stuff dropping. It really does. And with all the Atlas bonuses, with the skill points, it's gonna be compounded where everything multiplies on each other, right? Because we don't even know yet if it's multiplicative, additive, right? In the same way that you your player magic find is multiplicative with the map numbers and so on, right? So that's kind of cool. What else do I get asked a lot? Oh, okay. Let's talk about the actual mechanic of this challenge league, which is ritual. So a question I get asked a lot is like, what does defer do? Defer, basically, when you click on it, it will make that item cheaper the next time you see it. It doesn't guarantee that you see it the very next ritual, right? In fact, a deferred item, let's say you defer an item in the next map, if you don't see it in that first ritual encounter, you won't see it in any of the 3, because the 3 are kind of like linked together. So if you go like 3 without seeing it, doesn't mean that you were unlucky. It just means that's one instance that you didn't see it, right? And you can go many instances. More expensive items will take longer to show back up, but if you defer an item, rest assured that if you haven't seen it yet, it will come back eventually. It is not lost. So you use 15% of the cost of the item in order to make it show up later for a cheaper price. Okay, and you can keep this as many times as it takes to get that item. Another question I guess is like, what if I miss one, right? Like, what if it shows back up the second time and I forget to defer it again because I still can't afford it? Does it disappear? No, it'll take multiple rounds for it to actually disappear. Okay, I've had items where like when I was like starting the league, I had this like trash boots that I accidentally deferred just to see what it did, and it just kept showing up like 5 times after I didn't defer it again. So it was like some lionized pulse. So you'll have time. Don't worry about that if you choose the wrong item or something, okay? Does tribute travel between zones? Which is tribute is like the money you use to buy the items from the ritual. No, when you leave a map and you enter a new map, starts over from scratch. The tribute is just gained from the monsters. You don't need to kite monsters in or anything. The monsters have like this little reddish glow under them to indicate that that's part of the ritual. And every ritual will spawn the monsters before into that new ritual. So there's no gaming the system of like, let me open a breach on it. Let me open beyond on it. Like, let me open this legion and then open the ritual. No, when you do the ritual, you can just pop the ritual whenever. It's not going to affect anything unless there's some bugs. And another really interesting thing about the ritual is that like the ritual once again summons any monsters that were tagged as part of that circle, and they will summon that for all the future rituals. So let me give you an example, right? Strand map. Everyone knows the strand map. There's 2 bosses at the very end. If you skip every ritual on the way there, okay, what's gonna happen is you can kill the boss. Like it's a very likely chance that there will be a ritual circle in the boss room. Okay, not always, but a lot of time. If you kill the boss first, okay, in that ritual circle, and you go backwards out of the map, I don't recommend doing this because it takes a lot of time. It's kind of lame. But if you kill the boss first in that ritual circle and you go backwards, you will spawn those double bosses on every ritual circle. Okay, because you killed them first in the ritual circle, and the future ritual circles spawn previous monsters that were killed in previous ritual circles. Just a cool thing to keep in mind if you're like wondering like, wait, why does this guy keep showing up, right? Because a lot of times what people do is like they're clearing and you might be like following an abyss, following a legion, and you might miss one ritual, but you'll come back to it because you can see how many are left. And you get to the boss room, you'll kill the boss, you'll be, oh, I spawned again. But you'll be like, oh, I have 2 more rituals. You go back and the boss spawns again and again and again. And it's kind of cool. Really cool. The density is extreme. The density with Beyond becomes even crazier. Lots of I don't know if like the server lag and it's really caused by that, but like it's a lot of stuff. And this is with Ouch and Go. I've never done anything more than Ouch and Go this league so far. So but I will be, because I'm really excited for the opportunities to juice up the maps to this level. So that's another thing I get asked. Quick tips on that as well. A quick strategy, if you want to call it that, for newer players for the Ritual League is don't do anything until the end when it comes to Ritual, right? What I mean is like you clear out the rituals, don't defer, don't pick any items, don't do anything. Don't do anything until you've gone until you cleared every ritual, because a ritual, let me see if I can like actually show you here. The ritual menu can be brought up with your league specific hotkey. Okay, that's a little tip as well. Same thing with the harvest. If I go options and you go to inputs, your league specific hotkey, mine is number 4, yours is V by default. It'll bring up this ritual menu. No matter where you are, you don't have to touch the ritual. You just press the button and it comes up. See? So what I mean by this is like there'll be items hidden, right? So you don't know what those are. So if you spend early, you might miss like a mirror, and then you won't have like the money to defer it. So what you do as a general rule of thumb for newer players is do not defer, do not touch anything until the entire map is clear. And by entire map is clear, I don't mean like you cleared to like 0 monsters. I mean that you've done all the rituals. It says when it says 0 rituals remaining, and that's the only requirement, you are now free to defer and choose items as you see fit with no other penalties, no other counterplay that could happen afterwards, or any like mistakes that happen afterwards, right? Unless you like miss an item or something. So that's a big thing as a general rule. When you are looking at things, there's also an apply item filter, which is kind of cool, because like if your item filter doesn't even like show these things, right? Because it's a stricter item filter, that's pretty cool, and you have less to look at, right? Awesome. I really love that addition. If you see after you finish all the rituals, 0 rituals remaining, and it's all trash, right? For whatever you think trash is, that's defined in different ways to different people. You can click on this thing. Usually it's like I think it's like always 2,000 tribute, and you can re-roll your options. It'll completely re-roll the screen into different options, and that could be really good. Just be warned that like, you know, 2,000 is kind of a lot. Like usually like in white and yellow and very early yellow maps, I have like what, maybe 5,000 if I clear all the rituals really well and don't die or anything. So 2,000 is actually kind of significant. So just be careful about that if you're a little bit lower on the tribute, because you do need 15% of an item's cost in order to defer it. Okay, so if you look right here, you click on it, so defer, you can see exactly how much you're getting off. Deferral fee is 36, and Yeah, that is because I believe 15% of that is 36, right? That's how it works. And as you can see, like this one right here, I deferred this one already. You see, like this one's already like partially paid for. I deferred it, but I forgot to defer it again, and I don't have the money for it, so this won't disappear. The next time it'll just like go up in price a little bit. So you can read more about it, and that's really cool. Okay, other little tips for this is I would say this league is so crazy. Like it is, we haven't even seen we haven't seen anything yet because nobody has all the max atlas and all the max juice and everything. But if a tip, this is like kind of a meme on my channel, right? But I can't stress this enough. If you're gonna play this game for like maybe a month or more, right? I mean, even like 2, 3, 4 weeks, two weeks or more, try to get a headhunter. Okay, like I'm not kidding. I believe personally they have increased the mob density just natively across the board. And then with the skill tree, with the juice they're gonna be putting in your maps, there's a lot of rare monsters. Okay, they're coming out the ass. So what you want to do is you want to get a headhunter, and that will like elevate your character into the stratosphere with the synergy that comes here. Like if you thought that double rares from Legion every single zone was crazy during Legion League, where the headhunter reached 200 results, that's nothing compared to what's going to happen in this league. So you should try to get the headhunter, get the doctors, and then another quick note about harvest, because harvest is back. Heist. Okay, heist. Let's talk about harvest. Harvest is an interesting thing because it is about like, I don't know, maybe 100 times slower than before, like once you get going, because you can't deterministically get anything you want, and there's no flowers which double and rarity increases to the crafts and stuff, and it's like full on RNG. So I'd estimate it's about 100 times slower than Harvest League. So be warned, you can't really rely on items, especially early on. But one thing to note is that when you go in there, okay, there's a lot of things on the Atlas skill trees that help you with Harvest, but once you go in there, there's more than one patch to choose from. Okay, so like, you know how in like the videos they went in and there's like one patch of like yellow seeds, one patch of blue seeds, and it's like, oh, do I choose a yellow or blue? And you pick one and the other one dies, right? Unless the skill tree stuff has a 10% chance for it to not wilt. But when you choose one, right, you get that one and the other one dies. Now when you go in there, people have told me that there can be up to 4 choices, which means 8 patches. So when you go to your harvest, just make sure that you're walking around the fog of war, right? Like the mini-map fog of war, and making sure there's no other patches to choose from, okay? So once again, every 2 patches next to each other, you only get to choose one of them to spawn and to get the crafts. But there could be multiple patches of 2 options, okay? Up to 4. Sometimes you get 1, sometimes you get 2, sometimes you get 3 choices, sometimes you get 4. This is important, don't mess it up. 40 bench is back. So if I go back to my hideout, if you guys don't know how this works, Horty bench is right here and in the garden. You can store the crafts by when you click on it. This X in the actual Sacred Grove will be like a storage thing. You can store it in here. To get this in the hideout, you probably had this in your old hideouts maybe, or like maybe it's already used somewhere else. So this is how you get the heist locker for your contracts if you want to save space, and the Horty bench if you want to craft from your hideout. You go here, right? Click on this little arrow if it's like minimized. Edit, right? No, sorry, not edit. Just click on this arrow, decorations, and in here to get the heist locker, right? You can just type in heist. There it is. There's the heist locker, and then you can just like reclaim it if it's in some other hideout, and then put it back down, right? So if I reclaim it, look at this. I just put it back down there. It's good. 40 crafting station, same thing, right? You can just type in Hort, and there it is, right? If it's another hideout, you can reclaim it, put it back down, stop editing, and then boom, there's your thing. Okay, so you can get that in your hideout and enjoy crafting. So yeah, that's just like a basic Q&A and like a daily recap. It's been pretty fun. Another pretty hilarious thing is that assassins, people are like, assassin is dead, lol, assassin got nerfed. Assassin's like currently the most played Sensei on PvE Ninja. That's nuts, right? That's really crazy. So yeah, that's fun. And it kind of shows that like, don't follow the hype so much. Just try to have fun. If you see something that looks fun, if you think something's gonna be fun, just play that thing and you're gonna be okay, right? Because it's a long league. It's gonna be 3 months. You ask yourself this: in the past, how long did it take me to get bored of the league? Okay, and then that should be like, you know, that should tell you that you shouldn't worry about like these things like what's meta, what's not, because like you're probably gonna get bored before, you know, so play some other game, or you're gonna you know, or you're gonna play long enough where you just doesn't matter what class or build you're playing, because you're gonna have everything you want anyway. So you're gonna have all the headers, you're gonna have all the mirrors, you know. So try to have some fun, enjoy this leak. I think they did a great job. I'm kind of sad they delayed the mystery box till tomorrow. Kind of sad. But you know, there's some server issues. Oh, quick thing. I guess like the bug fix slash drama of the day or whatever. Chris Wilson put out a server statement about why things are like, people are crashing. There's rollbacks. People might be duping. Who knows, right? It doesn't really affect you that much. But there's also like, you know, people just can't play the game because they're crashing every minute. You know, crash the desktop, forever loading screens. Okay, if you are like in Discord with people and people are willing to help you out, if you get an infinite loading screen, all someone has to do to get you out of that is to invite you. So like, let's say I was in an infinite loading screen. Okay, I'll just show you real quick. So a loading screen is like right here, right? See, I'm loading in. This is the loading screen. If you get stuck in this and the gears just keep on spinning, someone can /invite you to a party and it'll clear that loading screen. We tried it out on stream earlier. It works 100% of the time. Like this loading screen, if I was stuck here, someone invites me, loading screen goes away. I don't know how that works on a technical level, but yeah, you can do that. Your other option obviously is just to like end the process, Alt F4, whatever you need to do. So pretty hilarious there, but that should be resolved because like there's like record numbers. Okay, that's you know, it's a pretty good leak, so it's a good thing kind of for PoE. Now another thing about watchstones. Okay, there was this like little like drama yesterday. Everyone's like, yo, do you know you could infinitely duplicate watchstones, give them to your friends? And this is overstated and rather false, but it has been reported by my friend Empy, right? He's a good guy. He reported the bug. What this does actually is it front loads your watchstones, so you get a little bit faster, like going on the way up to acquire watchstones. But then when you get to a certain level, the watchstone that you would have dropped in its place, you don't get that one. It just clears it, even if it says that it won't. So for example, let me give you an example here. Now you see, actually let me look at these actually. So like, do you see how like any of these say not obtained and the number of watchstones required? So if I were to fulfill that requirement, right, because I have so many already of these, what's going to happen is if you do this like watchstone trading system, is that when you get there, you'll be like, oh, I have a conqueror up, right? It spawns the influence in here, you get all the mobs, you have the fight coming up, and it'll still say, here we go, you're gonna get the watchstone. You won't get the watchstone, okay? Because there's a limited amount that you can have. So it does not, someone cannot trade you 8 blue watchstones at a time, okay? They cannot they can't just hand it over, and you know, it's not like everyone's getting 32 watchstones right away. What they're doing is they're getting the quick like early watchstones that don't really matter, okay? And then later on they won't get the watchstones that those watchstones took up, if that makes sense, right? When they actually do their quest to go all the way up to get influence. So all in all, it's not actually like a watchstone dupe. You could trade it, you know, it doesn't matter, because let me explain like this. When you're leapfrogging around, if you watch any of those videos from earlier I was talking about, when you're leapfrogging around, you don't put in all the watchstones anyways, because then it'd be slower. So like, you know, the way you go up there is still the same. So you know, don't worry too much about that. That was kind of like the drama there. People were like, is that cheating? Are you gonna get banned? It's like, no, it's just, I think it's to facilitate group play, but they didn't implement it in like the smoothest way, because like when someone kills it, like the guy who's not the native map owner needs to pick up the stone and the other guy gets it from Zaba. So it was kind of a mess, but rest assured, it is not really any kind of big deal. I mean, if there was any races in like group play or like trade league, which there aren't, it might be because someone could front load their watchstones really fast by being fed the early watchstones. But like, don't worry too much about it. Yeah, this video has been going on too long. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I'll be streaming every day. If you have any questions, you can ask me on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/cutenedog_. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's the video. Bye. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.